Crystal Shard, the final episode before we begin Red Hand of Doom.
We can't hear you if you're talking.
God damn it.
She was.
Hello, everyone. I'm Stephanie, and we are Dances with Kobolds, and tonight we are playing the last episode of Legacy of the Crystal Shard before we start Red Hand of Doom with all the same characters. Now, before I let Patrick begin, in the doobly-doo down below, please see a link to all of our sister shows as part of the Heroes Wanted collective of shows, and also please check out our Extra Life and Discord links. But without further ado, take it away, Patrick.
Thank you, Stephanie. Pretty presumptuous you guys are all going to survive tonight. But yes, as of this session, this will be the end of the Legacy of the Crystal Shard. Next week, as Stephanie said, we will be going into the Red Hand of Doom. Joining me tonight for this final episode are...
Oh, I'm first this time. Ian, and I'll be playing Augustus Constantine, the Forge Cleric of Moradin.
Howdy, folks. My name's Chris. I'll be playing Radican Conover, Human Artificer, and Man with Fancy Hat.
Hi, everyone. My name is Dabil. I think I'll be playing as Duma, a Minotaur Barbarian.
And hello, I am Lorne, and I will be playing Curious, the Goliath Ranger, the Monster Hunter.
Hi everyone, I'm Tara. I will be playing Cithrin, the Silver Dragonborn Great Weapon Fighter.
Oh, I just pulled up the Twitch channel and I heard Tara introducing herself a second time. Hello, my name is Brendan and I'll be playing the Great Ezekiel, the very sick half-elven bard.
Aw.
I'm Stephanie, and I'll be playing Cassandra Bowman Whitaker, divination wizard and fangirl.
All right, and yeah, to start with, Cassandra, roll me your portents, please.
Oh, right, yes.
Go big or go home.
How many are we donating? We need to make tents for the poor, right?
A 5 and a 6.
Excellent. So, last session, the party finished off the undead wizard Akar Kessel and his minions, and then flew up to the top of the Black Ice Tower to face off against Hedron, the Ice Witch, chosen of Auril. In a tremendous battle, you fought her two ice golems, and a living snowball swarm. Augustus, Curious, and Duma chased a quick-moving Hedron, while Cithrin and Radigan took on the ice golems. And Cassandra and the Great Ezekiel slung spells and took on whatever else was the greatest threat at the time. In the end, with most of the party hurt or unconscious, a vicious blow from Curious, a fiery blast from Radigan's turret, and a finishing strike from Cithrin brought Hedron down. The golems collapsed into ice cubes along with her. You recovered the scepter of the Winter King and a bowl of gems. Thinking, you departed quickly as the tower started to crack around you, but left gold for Auril. Fleeing the cracking tower, Ezekiel got the mirror portal open, while Augustus and Radigan went outside to investigate this chanting and drumming that appeared to be coming from the sky. Above them, a flying longboat manned by skeletons appeared, and it landed, and the dragon masthead demanded the Winter King's scepter. Faced with the choice of boarding the boat or handing the scepter to the skeleton, Radigan passed along the scepter, and with that, the boat departed, flying off into the thunderstorm. Going back through the Black Ice Mirror portal, which Augustus damaged on the way through, you found yourself back on the roof of Icespire Keep. The wizard Amber greeted you along with a fleet of griffins. You have earned yourselves a long rest. You guys were able to take a long rest in the keep, where you learned the following. You were in fact gone a 2-10-day, and each portal trip that you went through that mirror seems to have lasted a 10-day in whatever realm you passed through. You have learned that the young white dragon you killed, Cryovane, has been raised from the dead by the Arcane Brotherhood, and by the main clergy of Luskan, who are still in the midst of ongoing negotiations with Arvientris and the other white dragons that were very displeased with the death of their child. You were then flown to Fireshear on the backs of these griffins, where you were met by Aldo Fletcher, one of the merchants that you traveled up to Icewind Dale with at the beginning of the adventure, and he escorted you back to Bryn Shander. The winter has continued to be bitterly cold, and it is stretched on, and people around are simply calling it the winter of Aural's wrath. You have learned that Valish Gant has been removed by the 10 town speakers and the Arcane Brotherhood, and you have also learned through your various contacts, Ezekiel, that even though this has happened, the Arcane Brotherhood has gotten a foothold in and across the Dale itself, which doesn't necessarily please everybody. And as the group of you are really stuck in Icewind Dale and Bryn Shander for the length of this long winter, you guys are going to experience some downtime. So over this period of downtime, we've decided that Cassandra is going to be able to copy some spells and do some work. Duma has wanted to do some pit fighting, and everybody else has had some other activities. We are going to open with you guys in Kelvin's Comfort, the bar in Bryn Shander. Ogden Flamebeard and the rest of the town has sort of welcomed you back as heroes and champions. You have been, granted basically the key to the city by Duvessa Shane, and Ogden Flamebeard is serving you some of his Flamebeard's fire brandy on the house for everything you have done. And even though people are grumbling about the length of the winter, they are happy knowing that it will come to an end. So with that, I will, going around the group and sort of starting with Radigan down at the bottom of this table. What would you like to accomplish during your downtime?
After his recovery from his hangover, that fire brandy, it's powerful stuff. Radigan's got a little hunting that he wants to do, and then he's got a little magic item creation that he wants to do. So I think the first thing that I wanted to do was either go hunting for cave fishers or hunting for whatever those birds were.
Argentitis?
No.
The Snowcloak is what
Yes.
you have heard some of the hunters talking about, and that is what you would need to hunt if you want to make yourself the item that you wish.
Yes. So Radigan will one day pack up and head off with a group of hunters looking for Snowcloak.
Well, is there anybody else that wants to join Radigan in a hunting party?
Well, I don't know who. We're hunting something that could very readily be described as monsters. I don't happen to know if anyone would be interested in monster hunting. Now, would anyone?
Is this a monster, not a myth? Or has someone seen it?
They're around
I,
here and there.
I kind of had some plans to hunt my own monsters.
Well, we'll make it a twofer. How about that?
I am already the twofer on his monster hunting expedition.
Yeah, he kind of asked me first, and I
We're the
agreed.
besties.
Type of
Sithrin,
monsters are you hunting? Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say, Sithrin be down to join whoever needs an extra pair of hands in their hunting party.
Well, Miss Sithrin, wouldn't wouldn't want to impose or anything, but if you'd care to join me on a little hunting expedition, that'd be mighty glad.
I'm in.
Anyone else?
It's everyone
Duma-
else is coming along. I might as well come too.
Duma's kind of, has this thing in the pits. I would love to join a monster hunt, trust me, but the pits calls.
How long
Sounds
is
like-
this winter? Like, are we able to do how many things?
You
can
will
we
you
do?
will be able to do a couple of different things depending what everybody wants. I mean, you guys are going to be stuck up here just under 5 months.
Wow.
So yes, so you guys will be able to do a couple of activities. The hunt is going to be the first part of it for Radigan and whoever wants to do their hunt. The first part is going to be some sort of skill checks to learn what they can about the creature, and then we'll see how the hunt goes. And then there's going to be sort of crafting for Radigan after that. So this hunt will probably be the first couple of weeks. So, depending on what you want to do, you guys can stagger these things certain ways.
I will
Since
have
I'm-
to decline. I have some craftsmen coming in the morning to see about. Was there a temple to Moradin here, or do I have to build one?
You will be going to Kelvin's Cairn. You've been offered the Forge of Moradin there.
Okay, so I can do that as well. I was going to say about before I go. I know I want to do that, but before I go, I was going to set up some craftsmen with some funds to, if we don't have a church in town, to start one, and if there is one, to improve it.
All right.
So that'll be my first bit, and the other part will be my second bit.
Okay, so Augustus, you're going to be in Bryn Shander doing some religious services, and then you will be doing your forging. So that is good. That will take you out of that. Cassandra, you have a spell book, but that is not going to take you a lot of time. I mean, it is, a couple of hours and 50 gold per spell level. So depending on what you want to do with that. And then Amber has also invited you quietly to join him in Luskan in the Arcane Brotherhood's tower, where he's offering you the opportunity to spend some time schmoozing and attempting to get to know some of the instructors there.
Yes.
That is something, but that is something you can choose over the course of these months when you do it. So it would allow you to, go on a hunt or assist with something else along with this. You can sort of drop that in whenever you want to.
Yay! And there's also some talk of like a graphic novel.
Yes, you've also been approached by Etnius Swift of the Frozen Far Expeditions, who you suggested should write up his memoirs, and he has reached out to you for assistance with that. Can't hear you if you're talking, Stephanie.
Oh, sorry. What was that? Ian distracted me?
You were approached by Etnius Swift of the Frozen Far Expeditions just to help write his memoirs, because you
Yes.
suggested it when you guys met him. He will reach out to you, as he's now got a quick draft of some things done. So if you wanted to try and turn that into a graphic novel, you are more than welcome to.
Yes.
All right, Sithrin, what are your intentions?
Really just hunting and drinking and helping everyone else in the group out if they need it.
So drinking meaning carousing?
Yes.
All right, we will get you the downtime activity of carousing. And with that, Curious, you have a hunt that you wish to go on. So is it just going to be you and Ezekiel doing that?
I think it was planned for just the two of us to go on an extended hunt.
All right. And then Ezekiel, you have a hunt of your own that you were mentioning. Are you going to open it up to the rest of the party, or is this something you're going to do on your own?
No, I'm going to do this with the one person who's never interacted with him.
All right. Okay. Do you want to share what you intend to be doing?
Ezekiel has a certain rat that he wants to go squish. Yeah, we throw him in jail and all that, but he is a piece of crap, and he killed Auron, who Ezekiel was sent here in the first place to go meet, and he does not necessarily want this rat to go on and keep doing that kind of thing. I want to kill Slim. That's the subtext.
Pretty straightforward. So with that, I think the first thing we should start with will be we can do Radigan's Hunt. So in going after the Snow Cloak, first off, give me a nature check to see what you might have picked up about this on your own. And you don't, with that, you don't know too much about it yourselves. It's not something you guys have interacted with. So you would understand at this point, it's time for you to go start talking to some of the hunters and some of the other people, trappers and things like that have been out and about. So I'm going to give you a choice of giving me an investigation check or a charisma sort of persuasion check, just to see about going out and talking to people who might actually have an understanding of this creature.
It'll have to be an investigation check because all of my charisma skills are garbage.
Wow. With a 21, however, you are able to, over the course of a week, and I'm going to say it's going to cost you 50 gold in buying drinks and, heading out and getting to know people. You learn a fair bit about these creatures, though, with the 21. You learn that they are primarily nighttime predators, and they're very patient hunters. They look generally like manta rays, except they glide and sort of burrow under the snow. And they do like to attack things that are around fires, as they can sort of move in swiftly. And you also hear, some of the hunters say they swear that, they've seen it sort of appear and disappear in other places, and you can tell it's nearby when your fire starts glowing and shining these crazy colors that almost entrances you. But they also use poison that paralyzes their victims. You needed that roll. That was a good one.
Right. So, I think I might need to pick up some antitoxin.
All right. With that, you guys are easily able to, head out, pick up some of your the antitoxin, and so make sure you guys are able to buy whatever gear you want before you head out.
Okay. Well, I've got pretty
And-
much everything I need for an expedition. So,
All right, Cithrin and Cassandra, is there anything you guys want to make sure you have, or anything you guys want to research or check out on your own before you go out?
This is Radigan's Hunt, so Cithrin's going to let him take point on all the information gathering. She'll help out as needed. She just wants to hunt and kill things to kind of keep herself busy, but she wants to get rid of her light crossbow and invest in a heavy crossbow.
Easily
5
enough
levels
to
in.
do. Yeah, you guys can all head out to the market, and it's, easily you're able to either get everything you need at any one of the places where you can buy provisions. Black Iron Blades, you can buy decent provisions, or Renderil's Emporium.
Mhm.
And You can get, quality gear and everything that you need at either one of those two places. And rather than paying the usual markup, you can do it just at standard player's handbook prices. So they'll take your light crossbow for half the cost and sell you a new one.
Awesome. Updating that now.
Okay, so antitoxin is actually a thing. And
Yep, it's 50 gold. You would be able to get that from Reardon, and she will give it to you for half price, so 25 gold. Because you guys helped her out a fair bit.
Can I also
See,
sell...
making friends has helped you guys.
Sorry, can I also sell my silver great axe? How much would I get for that?
A silvered great axe, you would get... I'm going to say you'd be able to get 55 gold for that.
Awesome, thank you.
It's also something that Curious may want once Ezekiel describes Slim and his compatriots to him.
No, I know what I'm going after. Yeah, no, I know exactly what I'm going after. I have my hand axe. I'm good with that.
All right.
I mean, I'm not going to use it for my hunt, but I know what yeah.
Okay, with that, Radigan, I want you to give me a survival check. First off, as you guys head out into the wilderness, just to see how well you do tracking some of these beasts. That is a natural 1. So you are out for a couple of days, and you're having a fairly difficult time, really picking out signs of these creatures and beasts. And, it takes you a few more days than you would like. Give me a nature check while you're out there, just to sort of keep gauge of the weather and keep everything safe. And that is a success with 17. So you're able to, travel well on days when the weather is good, and you understand there's a couple of days you've got to sort of hunker down. Now, while you are out, give me a perception check, just in general, to see how well you listen to the sort of hunters and can figure out the area that they sent you to.
Can I guidance this?
Yes, you can.
All right. I'm going to need that. Perception. 16.
That's a 16. That is another success, which is very good. So far, you have 2 failures and 4 successes on everything you've wanted to do. So you are able to find a location that you recognize the hunters telling you is an area they know there's at least one of these creatures around. Now, you can give me a stealth check if you want to sort of scout around and try and figure out a good location, or you can give me a survival check if you want to figure out, whether you want to create a trap, or if you want to find an area of, the landscape you're in that might be good for setting a trap.
I'm thinking traps. If they like attacking things by the fire, I think building a fire at night and setting up some dummies or something like that will absolutely be the way to go. So survival check. 15.
That is a 15. That is a success. So you are able to build a fire, set up some dummies around the fire, and you're starting to feel fairly confident. You found an area that there are, there's a little bit of a rock wall around you. There are some trees for a little bit of cover, and you settle in with your dummies. You're going to set your turret up, or are you going to wait for the creature to show itself first?
The turrets last for an hour. And I'm not sure how long these things will last. Although, come to think of it, yeah, as precaution, I absolutely will set up my turret.
Okay. And with that, I want you to each of you give me a stealth check as a group to see how well you guys sort of set this trap and can hide yourselves away from this nighttime predator.
Stealth checks.
Sithrin is not stealthy.
Being bait's a noble profession.
Ooh, that is... Yeah, you guys set up this fire, but yeah, Sithrin and Cassandra, you are not, sort of quiet or stealthy, and you really, you are surrounded in this firelight. The stars above are, shining brightly. But I am going to say, as you are all staring around the fire, you start to notice the flames start to change from blue to green to sort of pink, and even though you thought you might get, very well prepared with this, this firelight is mesmerizing, and you fail to sort of recall that this is one of the tactics of the creature. And I need all of you to please give me a wisdom saving throw.
Everyone who isn't there already succeeded on theirs.
Oh, whoops. So that's crap. I still have my disadvantage on. So I think that would be a 16 normally.
16.
Okay, so both Radigan and Sithrin, you are fine. Stephanie, however, you are just entranced by these coloring, hypnotic lights. And
Wait, Radigan got
Yeah,
a
no,
10. I got a
Radigan-
12.
Radigan would be...
Oh, Radigan got a... Sorry, yes, Radigan. Sorry, I could only see the bottom. So yes, Radigan, you are also completely entranced by this, dancing hypnotic pattern that is coming out of the fire. And with that, I will have all of you roll initiative, please.
This have been a new day for me to roll new portents.
I think you're okay to keep the ones that you had. I mean, they may not help you here, but they're definitely going to come in handy, trust me.
Okay.
Make sure there we go. Ha 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 ha.
Of course, I
You're
rolled
right
a
on.
decent initiative.
All right, why didn't that work? Okay. This should work. That works. Oh, wow. Okay, first up is Sithrin. You are not being held by this hypnotic pattern. And you can see your two, compatriots are both, just sort of entranced and staring into this fire. What would you like to do?
Do I see any monsters yet to attack?
You can take your turn to give me a perception check if you want to.
Nope. If I can't see with a quick
All
look
right.
around, I'm going to
Yeah, looking
go
around
and-
quickly, you do not
Yeah.
see them.
Then I'm going to go over to Radigan and see if I can wake him up out of his stupor. Like give him
Yeah,
a shake or a little kick in the shins, something.
Yep, that is enough to wake him out of his stupor.
All right, so yeah, I kick him in the shins. It's like, wake up! They're coming.
Okay, with that, Cassandra, you spend your turn being completely dazed and out of it. Give me a wisdom saving throw at the end of your turn.
my god.
Oh.
Oh yeah, Heidi should be here.
She doesn't leave the forge.
Yeah, I'll pull a Tress room in for you. So yeah, you are still completely entranced by these lights. Radigan, you have just been shaken out of your stupor.
I just see like all the anime openings I love, one after another after another.
More specifically, Radigan, Sithrin just kicked you in the shins.
Ow. Oh yeah, lights. And I immediately slam my antitoxin. And
All right,
then,
you drink your antitoxin.
set up in the bushes.
Okay, with
Can
that.
You, wake her up?
I will.
With that, you see gliding and coming out of the snow this two-headed, almost manta ray-ish creature, and you see it come and attempt to envelop entirely over top of Cassandra's head, and as it does so, it is going to attempt to. Its wings have sharp claws on either side that you see attempt to swing around and dig into her. That is going to be a 15 to hit and a 19 to hit. So you take, actually it's going to be a 19 and a non-natural 20. So you take 8 slashing damage from the 2 attacks, and I need a Constitution saving throw, please, Cassandra. 2 of them.
2 of them? Oh god!
You've just been hit by 2 of these wing claws.
No, I thought I did this on a lark. I'm probably gonna die.
Even with that first one, yeah, you are currently poisoned. And then Radigan and Sithrin, you see this huge, tail swing around in an attempt to slap her. But even though she is poisoned, that is only going to be an 11, so it just sort of grazes. And then the 2 heads are going to attempt to bite her. And even with advantage, that is an 11 and a 12. Both of those miss, which takes us to top of the round and Sithrin.
All right. I know these things are poisonous. You know what? She's not gonna send back and let her little warrior sister be enveloped by this thing. So this thing is like completely enveloping her, right? And doing damage, yes?
Yes.
Okay.
Basically, the top half of Cassandra's body is enveloped in these wings.
I'm going to try and shear it off of her. 17 to hit with the great axe?
That hits.
Does a 12 hit?
A 12 does not hit. It just kind of grazes off of the wing.
All right, yeah, so 15 slashing damage. I'm trying to shear it off of her.
All right, yeah, 15 slashing damage. I mean, you see both of the heads immediately sort of turn, and this almost snake-like tongue just kind of hiss out towards you.
That's it.
All right, Cassandra, end of your turn. Give me a Constitution saving throw, please. Or, sorry, a Wisdom saving throw. Oh, no, actually, never mind. You've taken damage. You are no longer under this hypnotic pattern spell, but you are completely enveloped and blinded, and you are currently poisoned.
What can I do? I'm blinded. Pretty much every single spell of mine requires me to see something.
Can't you try and break free?
Can you open your eyes and be seeing it?
Can I?
Technically.
Technically, yes.
Alright, so I open my eyes. And I see the snow cloak here, right?
Yes.
That is in fact all you see.
I am going to Mind Spike it, and it's going to roll a 4.
Oh, it fails then.
And I'm casting it at level 3. Only 15
Ooh, all right.
And yeah, that is all.
Okay. So yeah, it fails. You hear it sort of screech and howl in pain. I don't have your Tressroom token, so this cat token here is going
That's
to be
good.
Heidi. That takes us to Radigan.
Okay, Radigan's going to run the turret over there. The turret is, of course, going to. You know what? It has its own. It has its own sheet now. The turret was a force ballista.
Oh, yeah, a 24 definitely hits, and yeah, it takes 12 force damage. Stephanie, you take 6 force damage as you are blasted by this force ballista as well, and you are currently wrapped up by it.
Didn't mean to do that. Also, it knocks it back 10 feet.
All right.
So do I take 12 damage? Is that what it is?
6.
You take 6 damage. And
I'm trying to blast it off.
But it is blasted off of you as it gets pushed away.
That's the way to deal with a grapple.
All right. I'm going to step front.
It was grappling me and trying to choke me to death.
Out comes the gun, and god damn it, this spell never works.
Hey, those are okay. Two of them.
Two of those hit.
Okay.
Yep. And I mean, the fire sort of bursts out of your wand, sort of spraying across, and this creature definitely does not appear to appreciate that, and it is starting to appear somewhat damaged, and it sort of swings under the snow at the start of its turn and sort of disappears off of the map. And with that, Cithrin, it is now your turn.
I'm not going to follow it. I'm going to back up. And I'm just going to ready my crossbow. So if I see it again, I'm going to try and pop it.
All right. Cassandra.
All right. Oh, is he gone? It's
currently burrowed under the snow.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to move back even closer to the fire, because I'm guessing this thing doesn't like heat. And I am going to hold my action until he pops out. So I'm going to hold the firebolt.
Okay. Radigan.
I'm going to do this much of the same. I'm going to stand here. My turret's going to kind of 5, 10, 15 go beside Cassandra, and I'm going to sort of keep my hand on my pistol and ready a second scorching ray.
Okay. With that, bursting out of the snow right next to you, Radigan, comes this snow cloak. But you can see at this point now, its image is sort of blurred and fuzzy, and you're having a much harder time, the three of you, getting a bead on it. But all three of your held actions go off, starting with you, Cithrin. So you are going to be shooting at disadvantage.
Okay, disadvantage.
13 does not hit. Cassandra, your firebolt.
Yay! Heidi's giving me advantage. She's here. I brought her back before the final battle.
That's still nice.
You've had days, so you definitely could have brought her back. That definitely hits. That is a 19 for 11 fire damage. And Radigan, your attack now goes off.
Pow, pow, pow.
One of those hits. The other two, unfortunately, miss. And as this snow cloak comes up, there's a wave of snow that comes over the fire pit. And it is partially extinguished. And so your light source diminishes ever so slightly.
Oh, snap.
Yet I see no change on the map.
We do.
We do.
We do.
Okay, good. And then it is going to attempt to attack you, Radigan, as you are right where it is.
Bring it on, ugly.
So first thing is going to attempt to surround you. That is going to be a 10, which is not enough. Second wing claw going around is only a 14, so no, it does not manage to surround you at all. But then it is going to attempt to bite you. That is a 21 for 3 piercing.
Can it beat a what was it? Can it be a 20?
Nope. So it was a 21. So yeah, with your shield, you are able to get in the way of both of its mouths, and it is not able to get its mouth on you. That is going to take us to Cithrin's turn. So it is still blurred and sort of swimming in your field of vision.
All right, I'm going to run up to it and start swinging. Disadvantage still, but at least I get 2 attacks.
Second one hits with an 18 for another 12 slashing damage. And with that, you are able to slice one of these heads clean off.
Haha.
That
That's
takes us
all I
to... Okay, that takes us to Cassandra.
All right, can I... So this fire has sort of gone dim, right? Is it because the snow cloak is... Was that like a one-off thing? The
It
snow
sprayed
cloak...
it with it sprayed it with snow, which nearly put it out.
Can I use prestidigitation to bring the flame back higher so we can actually see?
Yes.
I will use prestidigitation then.
Is that a use of prestidigitation?
You can turn on a flame.
Yeah, it is.
Oh.
Yeah. So yeah, the fire roars back up, re-illuminating the area around you. Any movement? Any bonus action?
I might move back like 1 here. And
As you do,
bonus
its
action,
tail reaches
Sithrin.
out and slaps you for 6 bludgeoning damage.
Wait. I thought I was... It didn't have 10-foot
got-
reach.
It's got the tail does.
I would have stayed put then.
You wouldn't know.
Ah, shit.
When it used its tail, it was covered up over top of you. So yeah, you take 6 bludgeoning damage.
And I will have Heidi cast assist Cithrin.
Okay.
Thank you.
Radigan.
Radigan does not like this thing right on top of himself. So the first thing that's going to happen is the force ballista is going to fire.
That hits with a 15. Just hits.
Okay.
All right, so
yeah,
12
12
force damage and blasted back 10 feet. You will get an attack of opportunity.
I happen to have my gun out and not my
so you don't have a melee weapon. All right.
No, I do not.
It is your attack, though.
Awesome. And I think I will look through my actual attacks here and shoot.
With an 18, that hits for 11 fire. And with that, the creature, sort of screeches and cries and crashes down into the snow. So the fire is put out almost immediately, but it does not move any further. It is dead.
Woo!
All right, let's go home.
All right,
first
well
up,
done.
Radigan, give me a survival check to see how well you can clean this creature in order to get its skin. I mean, Cithrin and Cassandra can assist as well if either one of them are proficient in it.
Pretty sure Cithrin is. Survival, right? Yeah.
Survival. I don't think
Yes,
so.
please help me out with this.
Yes, Cithrin is
Alright.
proficient.
So with assistance, that is a 19, which is more than enough. You are able to clean it easily, cut away, and you think you have the workings of a decent cloak. that you would be able to head back to Bryn Shander with. So with that,
Excellent.
you guys are able to make your way back into town. Radigan, you meet back up with Emil and Teffa Nettlebrook, the halfling couple that you met when you first arrived in Bryn Shander, and they will assist you in starting to create your cloak. And with that, I'm going to head back to the main tavern page, and let's move up around the circle right now to Duma. Duma, you have decided to spend your time pit fighting here in Bryn Shander. And after, a few days using your bad reputation, your notoriety leads you to one of the underground bars here, which is actually beneath one of the large blacksmithing shops here in town. And there you are able to meet your competition and find a few rivals that you are able to compete against. So first things first, let's have you do that 5-round pit fight match that we discussed earlier.
Yay.
So the way this works, there will be 5 rounds in this pit fight. The winner will be the one who is the first to 3 rounds victories. You can choose to make an athletics or an acrobatics check as your fighting style, and you will roll against each other. Winner wins the round. A critical hit or a win by more than 5 points is a possible knockout, with the loser making a con roll to avoid being rendered unconscious. Between rounds, you can choose to make an intimidation or a sleight of hand roll to try and gain an advantage in the next round. And you could even try and make a charisma performance roll to get the crowd on your side for an extra boost of confidence. If you have the Tavern Brawler feat, you can add a D4 to your roll. Or if you have the Battlemaster subclass, you can spend a superiority die. A Barbarian can rage for advantage on your strength check. A knockout wins automatically. Otherwise, it is the best of 3 rounds. And you are facing this large bugbear with, these long arms. And, he's muscled, but it is a very svelte sort of musculature. He moves sort of quickly and surprisingly deftly. And with that, it is round 1, Duma. Are you going to choose an athletics or an acrobatics check?
I am going to stick with athletics.
All right. So are you going to rage for advantage?
I am going to rage and reckless attack. So it's going to be advantage all the way. And
okay. Yeah, there's no reckless attack in this because you're basically just making your athletics check, but you are doing it with advantage. So give me an athletics check. I will say he just rolled a 17 for his acrobatics.
Oh, shit. Wait,
I didn't
say
give you a scrub. Yes, you have advantage on your athletics check.
Okay, so I have to just turn on my advantage.
All right, that is a push at 17. So that round 1 is a tie. In between rounds, he is going to attempt a sleight of hand roll to try and intimidate you. So he's going to sort of reach down and try and pocket some sand just to try and throw it in your eyes. You don't get the sense that he's raging. You just get the sense he moves really quickly and smoothly. So you can either try a sleight of hand check to cheat or give me a charisma intimidation roll to try and gain an advantage the next round.
Oh, definitely intimidation. That's also with advantage, right?
No, this is a charisma intimidation, so neither one of you have advantage on this. He rolled a 12 for his sleight of hand. So yeah, you easily you catch him sort of lifting this sand, and you just sort of stand up and roar at him and flex, and you can see it sort of spills away through his finger. So that is going to give you advantage as you are sort of frightening him at this point. So I'm going to have him roll with disadvantage. Round 2, he steps out, and with his roll, that is going to be, with disadvantage, an 11. So roll your athletics check. That is a 20. That is over 5. So he is going to have to make a saving throw to attempt to not be knocked out. This could be over really quickly. So he's going to get a d20, and I'll roll this one openly. And he has a +2 to this roll. He has to beat your 20. Actually, no, he has to beat a 15. So this +2. That is a natural 1. That is a 3. Duma, you in round 2, you come out, and just with a quick flurry of blows and then a hammering head, you render your opponent unconscious. Wow, this guy did nothing against you. That was kind of bad. But the crowd sort of cheers and is definitely on your side. And with that now, we are going to go into the pit fighting downtime. So this is going to be 3 checks, Duma. The first one is strength athletics. Second one is dexterity acrobatics. And then the third one is a constitution check that you can add one of your hit die to as well. And if desired, you can replace one of these skill checks with an attack roll using one of your weapons. The DC for each of these checks is going to be 5 plus 2d10. So I can do these openly for you. So the first one, this is going to be your athletics check. So it is going to be a DC 20 because we add 5 to these rolls. So DC 20 athletics check.
Wow, that was just, Again, this is the advantage athletics. Hello?
Yeah.
It does not. This one does not say that you get advantage with this. This is just a straight athletics check.
Oh boy, this is gonna hurt.
So that is 1 failure. Your second one, so this is going to be a dexterity check acrobatics that you can instead replace with one of your standard weapon attack rolls if you wish.
I'll take a... yeah.
The DC is going to be 20 again.
God damn it, really? Okay, fine. It's going to be Great Axe of Warning. I'm going to use that. The Great Axe.
Okay.
Coming in. Come on!
All right. And so your third one, this is going to be a constitution check that you can add a hit die to. And that is, Jesus, that's going to be a 22 that you have to beat. So constitution plus one of your hit die.
You mean constitution straight up? I'm just confirming.
Yes, this is a constitution check, and then it has a bonus equal to a roll of your largest hit. Your largest hit die, but all your hit dice are 12. So.
Okay, so constitution, that's a 6. Oh boy, there's no way I'm gonna make that.
I wouldn't say that.
20.
So
20. Unfortunately, you had to beat a 22. Which unfortunately for you means with the pit fighting results, you've had 0 successes. You go on to lose more of your bouts than you win. You end up earning no money from it, unfortunately.
Dang.
Wow, that sucks.
But this is over a period of a couple of weeks, so you will have a chance, if you continue with this, to do it twice as everybody else is doing sort of 2 separate things as well. But yeah, unfortunately, your pit fighting career did not start off all that strong. And with that, we will pick up with going up around the circle. Cithrin, you are doing your carousing. So with that, now you've made some good, contacts here in town. Are you going to do a lower class carousing, or are you going to go middle class here in Bryn Shander?
I'm a mercenary, so I'm going to go lower class.
Okay. So with your lower class carousing, you have to spend only 10 gold pieces to cover your carousing, and that covers a work week of good food, strong drink, and socializing.
Woot.
So give me a charisma persuasion check while you are out and about carousing.
Normal. Persuasion.
As you are out and about, you have made one good sort of allied contact that you're going to be able to call upon. But also roll me a D8 as well, just to see what else has been going on.
Oh, please let me wake up like Elga, just like naked in the town square with a pile of money, no recollection of the past week.
You, in fact, wake up with fuzzy memories of doing something very, very illegal, but you cannot remember exactly what you did.
Whoops.
And you've, got some ideas, but yeah, it is all just a big, big, vague blur. During this time, Augustus, you have been doing religious services, attempting to build up a small temple to Moradin. So
yes,
while you are, performing these rites and proselytizing, I will say this is going to take you at least 2 to 3 work weeks. Your expenditure to get this going is going to be about 100 gold.
Oh, I thought it was going to be more along the lines of just paying a contractor before I head to Calvin Karen.
Well, you can do that, but in this way, you're going to be able to try and get favors, from Moradin. So
yeah, let's try that.
Yeah, so at the end of this, give me either an intelligence religion check or a charisma persuasion check to see how you do.
Okay, so intelligence or religion?
So, religion is intelligence, and then persuasion is charisma.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you have pleased Moradin. You will gain his favor, which will give you advantage during your crafting phase. So you have done very, very well for yourself.
Now, if we could only found out who shit in the holy water.
Some mysteries are just never, ever to be explained or understood. That, going around in sequence, takes us to Curious. So for your hunt, you know what you want to hunt, but you can give me, first off, an Arcana check to see what you can learn about your enemies, and Ezekiel can assist with this if he wishes.
Should I roll it? Should I roll the Arcana checks? I'm probably higher than you.
I have a 0 modifier. Could I do? Is it I roll with advantage or what?
Yeah, you can roll with advantage, or you can each do a roll.
At this point, I want to say we each do a roll.
All right. 20.
2.
High five.
So yeah, Ezekiel, with your experience with Slim and the other were-rats, you understand that These creatures, you definitely need a silver or magical weapon to affect them, and you understand that, otherwise they will either be unharmed or certainly uninjured. Now, this is going to be strictly for curious. You can give me a nature check to see what you know about their habits from your experiences with them and any tracking you've done. And yeah, with a 22, that is another success. You're pretty sure you know where their hunting grounds and even where their main cave is. And so you understand exactly what you would need in terms of gear to mount this expedition. You would also know that this is a group of 3 werewolves that live in this sort of cave system. So it would give you an understanding if you wanted to bring someone else along and see how well, what the strength of theirs are. Also, give me an investigation check as you can, go talk to some of the hunters and see what they have learned in this area.
7.
A 7. Yeah, unfortunately, you talk to a couple of people. They're not able to give you any solid information on, the pack itself, or, they just haven't been seen in some time. They, seem to have maybe retreated in for the winter. With that, you guys can go to the marketplace and purchase whatever equipment you need from there. And Ezekiel, you would also see that Beldora is, at her usual place in the market around the fire pits. So if there's any kind of information you wanted to try and pick up or learn, you could certainly do that.
All right. I will approach Veldora and ask, one, if she knows anything about the werewolves in the area, and 2, if she's heard anything about Slim.
Okay. Give me an investigation check as you speak to her. And you guys can also see that, everyone else is kind of, moving in and around the market as well. Radigan is working with a couple of halflings. Cithrin just appears to be kind of stumbling around blind drunk with her arm around someone else's shoulder. Duma is currently buying some salves and surreptitious healing potions and things like that, while Augustus is wandering around, proclaiming Moradin and joking about shitting in the holy water. With your first question about the werewolves, she doesn't know too much about that. She would suggest that you go speak to some of the hunters, but give me another investigation to see what she knows about Slim. And this you can do with advantage, because this is the kind of thing she would have kept track of.
13.
13. She knows that he was last in the prison up at Caer Koenig, up in the jail there, but he did escape. And she would suggest that you go talk to the police up there and start tracking him back. He certainly has friends that are still in town here, but she hasn't picked up if he has come back here or if he's head to another town. But she definitely gives you that lead. And in the midst of this, as all of this is happening, Cithrin, you are pretty happy. You've had a good night. You're out drinking with your friend. You see some of your other friends sort of in the market. The sun is shining. It's sort of a bright day. Give me a perception check, please.
Perception, okay.
You feel just around you this sort of cold air as the temperature seems to kind of drop, and just this sort of whistling in your ears. You don't detect anything around you, but you see like the tent flap kind of blow, and then you feel something just slam towards you. With that perception check, you're not necessarily surprised. I need you to roll initiative, please.
Just me, okay.
Do we see this?
You do not see, Curious, you can see Cithrin. Radigan, you can see Cithrin. You do not see anything around her at this point. All right, that is a 16. Sorry, let me get to the right map for you guys. All right. Yeah. You do not pick up visually anything around you, but you feel something slam directly into you, Cithrin, as it goes first. So I will roll for it. You are not surprised. Something just slams into you once, and you can feel it coming close to you for a second time, but it does not connect with you. But you take 12 bludgeoning damage as something is surrounding you and just pounding into you. And with your perception check, you pick up sort of this babbling language, but then you hear the word Barum. And it is your turn.
Oh, ho, 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 ho. Do I have a sense of direction of where this thing is?
It is just sort of swirling all around you at this point. Curious and Radigan, what's your passive perceptions?
14.
15.
Both of you notice something just, and Cithrin is sort of, it doesn't look like she's staggering, but it looks like something just smashed into her, but you do not see anything around her.
Cithrin will roar, Barum, you bloody pox-ridden bastard. And she's going to hope this works because she needs something to strike at. She's going to try and, it's not water, but she's going to see if her breath weapon will help like outline where this thing is because she's blowing frost at it so she can hopefully like hit it.
All right. So are you going to sort of spin? Are you going to spin around? Which direction are you going to do it in?
I was going to spin around if I could because I'm not trying to hurt it. I'm just trying to like target it.
Sure. So I'm going to have it do a dexterity save rather than a constitution save.
Yeah.
And it fails. So just for an instant, Curious, you guys also see just this faint outline of like this wind-blown, almost invisible creature show up almost above Cithrin as she turns around and breathes this frost. And it immediately is starting to disappear, but you see this outline of this creature of sorts, which appears to be attempting to surround her.
Oh, shit.
So Radigan and Curious, you guys can roll into initiative. All right. And it does take, some sort of frost and ice damage as you have smashed into it, Cithrin. It is still currently your turn. Any movement, any bonus actions?
No, I'm going to try and kill this thing now that I have a rough idea where it is. So I'm just going to like commit its position to my memory as best I can and go for it on my next turn.
All right. It is going to take part of its turn as it's sort of swirling and it starts to fade from view. I'll say at the end of your next turn, Cithrin, is when it's going to disappear again. But you can, it is going to attempt to slam back into you twice.
Okay.
That is a 13, which misses. That is a 22 for 12 bludgeoning damage. That takes us to Curious. You can now see this sort of shimmering, frosty, icy character that is pounding into Cithrin, but is starting to disappear from view again. What are you doing?
All right, give me one moment because I want to double check the features of this one thing here.
You've no idea how long I've been holding off on this for you, Tara.
Oh, I have an idea. So would I be obviously disadvantaged because I can't see it, but would I have disadvantage if I was drunk? Like if I could see it?
Yeah, I'm not going to make you that disadvantaged. I'm going to say at this point you're not drunk, but you're still out eating and hanging out during this time. So
I'm feeling good.
yeah, you're feeling
Okay.
good.
All right, so I figured out what I'm going to do now. Okay, so is it within melee range of the ground?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm going to hunter's mark it, draw my weapon, say, at least call out to the great Ezekiel because I don't know if he's noticed this, and I don't necessarily see Gus. And I'm going to say, the dragon girl needs help, and then run over here and hunter's mark it with a bonus action and swing for the fences.
All right, so this is going to be a straight roll because it is still somewhat visible.
And could I hear him say that?
Yeah, if he yelled it out, yes, I would say everyone across the market would be able
Yay.
to hear it.
Well,
Uh,
if nothing else, you heard Sithrin yelling,
yeah,
bellowing at the top of her lungs.
a 15 hits. Roll your second attack.
Oh,
18
yeah.
also hits. So yeah, you are slicing through, and I mean, your axe is coming out sort of frosted, and I mean, you're cleaving through something that again feels very unsubstantial. It's almost like the air elemental that you guys had fought in Hedron's tower. But yes, you definitely strike through it twice.
And it's
That
a
takes us to
+1 hand
Sithrin.
axe.
I am going to swing at it with my axe.
That is
Yes!
a critical hit.
Fuck him up.
No.
So that is 19 slashing damage. So yeah, you definitely cleave through, and as you do so, you knock the rest of the frost away from it, and it does disappear again.
Aw.
But you can definitely see that your swing struck true. You still have your movement
Awesome.
and your bonus action.
I'm staying right where I am because I want to put this thing down and send Barum a message.
All right, Radigan.
All right,
You
Radigan.
have just seen this thing fade away.
Yeah, Radigan just immediately stops haggling with the scrap vendor that he's been haggling with for the past 20 minutes, draws his gun, screams at everyone in the market to get down, and runs towards Sithrin while blasting off scorching rays at the thing.
Okay, so that is going to be, it is now invisible, so it is with disadvantage. Even with that, 2 of the 3 do hit. So yeah, you see it, very briefly outlined in sort of flames and fire, but fades away. But you smell burning ozone, so you definitely know you hit something. With that, I'm going to say we will hit top of the round. Everybody's now going to be rolled in. Top of the round, that is Ezekiel. You are up.
Okay, Ezekiel's gonna run here towards where he saw Curious running. I can't see it anymore, can I?
You cannot. You see,
And by which anymore, I mean ever.
yeah, you see the 3 of them sort of looking up at a point, but they don't appear to be looking at anything.
Well, you know what's better than it being able to see us and us not being able to see it?
Anything?
Nobody being able to see anything. I'm gonna cast Darkness centered on Cithrin.
All right.
I'm not sure I like
how big
this.
a space does that cover?
Not sure. I've never cast it before. One moment. It fills a 15-foot
15
sphere.
foot.
So yeah, 30 feet wide.
Not so sure I'm so hot on this outside the box drow thinking here, but okay.
Advantage cancels out and everybody makes normal attack rolls against it.
So yeah, this huge sphere of darkness descends, and you hear the vendors just scream, and a couple of people start sort of crashing and bumping into everyone inside this, pitch black space. Okay. Any bonus actions?
No, wait. I will give Bardic Inspiration to Cithrin.
Thank you.
I don't need to see her. She just needs to be able to hear me.
Yep. All right. With that, Curious, you get a sort of sense of movement sort of fluttering around you. But it's just this sort of wind and coldness and Cithrin. Again, it sort of swings around and it is going to attempt to strike at you twice. That is a 22 to hit for 10 bludgeoning damage. And that is a 10, which will not hit. So yeah, you are struck once, sort of in the back as this thing slams into you. That takes us to Curious.
All right. So when you said that I felt a chill move around, I assume I know where its rough location is, in the sense of I could attack at that location and probably hit it if I rolled high enough.
Yeah, it's no longer sort of in front above you where it was. It swung around. I'll give you an attack of opportunity actually as it flew. Because yeah, you get the sense it's no longer close to you. 14 just hits. So yeah, as this wind sort of blows past you, you do manage to strike through with it. And you get the sense that, yeah, it sort of went behind but above you.
All right. In that case, then... Yeah, I'm just going to swing for it. I think that's better. So I will attack at where I believe it is twice.
Are you... Yeah, you swing twice. It is not within your melee range, unfortunately. So they do not hit.
Okay, that means I should have done the other thing, but that's fine. I will, I guess... take a step this way, hand out, sort of bracing so I don't run into someone, very cautiously, and end my turn.
You shove over what appears to be a shopkeeper who just...
well, I'm not like beating them. It's a, hand out. I feel them. I don't shove them aside. I do the Assassin's Creed, hand on the shoulder, gently force them out of my way.
Yeah, it'd be more like a child running into you and bouncing off you in the darkness. That takes us to Cithrin.
Would my action surge be considered a bonus action? It doesn't specifically say.
It's not a bonus action. Yeah, you just do it.
It's not an action at all.
Perfect. It just says I can take an additional attack, blah, blah, blah. One additional action. So that means I can... Okay, so I will, first off, bonus action, second wind. I am very hurt. Only like 10 hit points left. 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Not bad.
Good roll.
Yeah. And then I'm going to swing Disadvantage nullifies a straight roll, right?
Straight roll, I would say you may understand that it is
Considering it just
around
hit
and
me.
above you. Yeah, it just
Yeah.
hit you. So yeah, so it's a straight roll because you're both blind.
Okay. Above me, but it should be. It just hit me. It should still be in melee range. Okay.
Yeah, it moved basically around to that side of you. So
So 16 hits,
16 hits.
and then I'm going to action surge and do it again.
All right.
Another critical.
Another critical.
Aw, seriously?
Uh,
Cereals?
You can see this creature is definitely down to about a third of its original size, though. It is really taken. Well, actually, you can't see. So, but
No.
you feel it's easier to sort of slice through for what you've been doing.
It's getting hurt.
Any movement? Any bonus actions?
Nope.
Oh,
If it's targeting me,
don't
then it'll be
forget.
easier.
Don't forget. I'll say with the 10 that you rolled, you have bardic inspiration.
I did forget that. Let's see if the bardic inspiration. It's a D6 now. D8? Sorry, D8?
D8.
Nope.
Not enough. So, any movement? Any bonus action?
Nope. So long as people know where I am, they have a rough idea where it is.
Okay. Cassandra, you are outside this bubble of pure darkness. You cannot see anything.
Well, my clever idea, because I've rerolled my portents, and one of them was a 1. Failed spectacularly. So this is obviously somebody cast darkness, right?
Somebody did.
Somebody great did.
Well...
It's the best darkness.
I'm not going in there because I can't see through magical darkness. So I'm out of options. I'm probably just going to cast Mage Armor on myself. And maybe 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Gus! Did you hear? And that'll be it.
Okay.
You were too excited
Right.
about that.
Oh, I'm excited because I'm worried about people.
Radigan's gonna wonder why he hasn't heard the loud and rumbly sound of Duma getting angry and rushing towards us yet. As in where his initiative was.
I think he's pit fighting. I don't think he's I don't think he's here.
Well,
I said he was here getting healing potions and cleaned up.
Duma.
Doom was here.
Nah,
So you can roll into initiative if you want. You've just seen this huge burst of darkness take over the center of the market space.
Oh, that definitely gets my attention. Ah, for fuck's sake. Oh, no, that.
You'll be up next.
So I can't see anything, and I have no idea where this thing is.
That is correct.
So, Cithrin, you feel Radigan sort of reach out and try to grab it where you are, and then kind of on your shoulder, you feel kind of what feels like some sort of patch. You're not sure what it is. It's sticky. It's long. There's a little padded thing in the middle, kind of like a Band-Aid being applied, and yeah, you restore 13 hit points.
Thank you.
Any
Why is
movement? Any bonus action?
No bonus action, no movement. Why is the title of that not? That's annoying.
All right. That takes us to Duma. You are outside this huge circle of pure magical darkness, listening to the sounds of people sort of running and screaming, and the sound also of fight.
I'm assuming from where I'm standing, I'm able to see this giant dark circle sphere.
Yeah, it's that the purple sphere is the darkness.
Okay, so I am going to make my way through. That'll be 10. That'll be 15, 25. And I'm assuming I'm seeing all of this, so I am going to not dash, but I am going to make my way to here and get my silver longsword and shield ready. And my action is going to be anything that walks out, anything and anyone that walks out, I start slashing. That's it.
Anything and anyone. Excellent. That includes
Yep.
your allies.
Yep.
That includes
Augustus.
civilians.
Oh, yeah. And there are civilians.
All right, so I am going to move up, get to there. Ezekiel, what is going on?
I
The
think
thing
As
it is
Dogsy
attacking them.
point me in the right direction, I'll use the. Oh wait, can I? I still have. Damn it! I'm 5 feet short. No,
It's also
that's-
like magical darkness. I have no idea where it is to point.
well, let's wait for anything to come out on the side and attack it. Anything that is enemy shaped and not a civilian and not a friend.
Oh, there's a much better spell I could have cast.
Of course there is. And
Like
I will
100.
also cast Spiritual Weapon. And done.
Okay. The great Ezekiel, that takes us top of the round. It is your turn.
All right, now that I have my wits about me, I'm going to drop concentration on darkness,
Oh, right.
and I'm going to fairy fire in the location of Sithrin, assuming it's still there.
All right. So, yeah, so Fairy Fire drops. That is going to hit.
DC 15.
Yeah, but that is also going to.
It'll hit my allies,
Yeah.
but
Yeah, it's
Fairy
all hitting
has
your allies.
advantage on them.
So Curious, Sithrin, and Radigan all need to give me a dexterity saving throw as well, please.
Kirius, you're a lovely shade of bright purple. As are you, Ratigan.
Huh. Red was always my color.
Is there an
That is a-
outline of
that
it
is
now?
No, it got a 20.
I'll drop concentration on that as well and curse under my breath.
All right. That takes us to this invisible entity that is still sort of swirling down, and it swoops down upon you and is going to try and slam into you again, Sithrin. That is going to be a 23 and a 25 to hit. You take a total of 21 bludgeoning damage, and then you feel it sort of swoop upwards. I will say, Radigan, your passive is 14. It's gonna make
Mhm.
Only rolled a 13. You can feel it swooping up. So both you and Sithrin are going to get attacks of opportunities. You can feel it moving upwards.
Excellent.
Eat it. Ow.
Yes.
You have disadvantage because it is invisible.
Oh, right. Merp.
Roll another 20.
Yeah, dude.
Yes!
Oh,
Oh,
well, there's
you
a
did it.
Wow. Yeah, you definitely hit. Roll your damage.
13 damage.
Yeah, you did more damage on your non-critical than your critical.
Seriously.
Okay, that takes us to Curious.
All right. Seeing as how last time attacking the air did nothing, and unfortunately I don't have the ability to cast Fairy Fire, I am going to abuse the hell out of the fact that I cast Hunter's Mark on it, and I'm going to use my action to make a perception check to figure out where exactly this thing is.
Excellent. Give me a perception check.
That's a 10 because I get advantage.
I will say you get the sense that it is in the air somewhere above Sithrin, but you can't pinpoint an exact location.
Okay, I'm assuming I have a 15-foot cone of where it is. I'm
Yes.
going to, using both my hands, say it's somewhere in that direction, and end my turn.
All right. Sithrin, you know it's somewhere above you.
All right, away goes the axe. Now comes the crossbow. Damn it, disadvantage. Fuck. So let's roll again. 15 hit?
15 does hit.
10.
10. All right. Yeah, it
There it is.
fires
That's
upwards and through. And I mean, you can see it strike something as it sort of slows down, but then it just falls back to the ground. But definitely struck something.
Excellent. That's
Any
it. I'm
movement,
just...
any bonus?
Nope.
Sticking around. All right, Cassandra, the darkness has dropped, and you can hear Curious yell that it's somewhere up there, and you sort of peer around the corner of the tent. You see his arms kind of spread above Cithrin's head in sort of a V that he is pointing that something is up there.
Okay, give me 1 second. A certain spell.
A certain fiery spell across the sky.
Might be fiery. Oh, I can't see it though, correct?
No, but you were just given a general location by Curious, and it's
Fireball!
above.
And he's gonna
Yeah, it's
roll a
above the
one.
head. Do you need to see him to
No,
use
not
your
for
portents?
fireball. It just has to be an area.
All right, that is a failure. Roll your damage.
1 second, I just accidentally closed the screen. I hope everyone on Twitch can now see it, but I accidentally closed it. 1 sec.
Yep, we see your browser reloading.
Yes. $29.
29. This red explosion appears above the marketplace, and this sort of whipping cold wind. You see almost a small tornado appear in the center of it, and it just sort of withers and withers. And as the fire burns away, you feel this wind that's been blowing around you, Cithrin, also just dissipates and dies.
Ooh, what did we get?
Nothing. It's an elemental.
Oh, not even an elemental
wind
shard.
You got Cithrin's life is what you got.
Mhm.
I immediately point at Ezekiel and say, Ezekiel, we're going to need you to talk to the guards about this.
Of course you are.
And the guards do, sort of truck down, and there's questions. I'll just give me a persuasion check to sort of calm them down and explain everything, Ezekiel. And you can do it with advantage because other people saw that what was going on as well.
Do I get
Cithrin's just kind of
super
stomping around.
advantage for being one of the heroes of the
You have advantage, so
persuasion?
yep.
Is a 24
yeah.
high enough?
Yes. I mean, the guards are a little bit skeptical, but some of the other vendors also, that were there say, yeah, there was nothing there. Like they could feel the wind and moving around, but yeah, there was nothing. And with that, Curious, you and Ezekiel are able to finish collecting whatever goods you needed from the market, and we'll take a quick 3-minute bathroom break and then pick up with your hunt.
Yay!
It's too bad I was at a second level spells. Otherwise, I would have rendered Cithrin invisible. It was her. She was its primary target after.
But
Well, thank you both to Ezekiel and Radigan for the heals.
Well, if I can't shoot, might as well be productive.
I mean, that's what I was figuring. It's like the first time I tried attacking it and I missed. So I'm like, okay, I'm just going to play radar for the rest of the fight.
While you're playing Radar, I'd prefer to play Klinger.
Personally,
Don't
He's
you
a
want to
better
mash it?
cleric.
Don't mash it up.
no, I'm
All of
more
you-
of a
all of you
honeycut
people.
person to be sure.
Come on, Chris. Don't be such a Frank.
Well, we do know that we do know that the great Ezekiel does like dressing up all fancy.
Right?
So you should change your name to the Great Hot Lips Ezekiel.
Actually,
Great
if anything, I'm pretty sure Gus would be Porter.
Gus is
He would be Porter. Porter had a horse.
Mulcahy.
Actually, no, yeah, I can totally see the Mulcahy in that.
He literally punches people
Oh my
with his
god.
hooves.
That was some excellent teamwork, which you guys came through with. That was nicely done.
So, how likely does Cithrin think that Baram's going to try again? Pretty damn likely, eh?
Pretty likely. I would say that are you going to talk it over with the group?
No.
Okay.
I am.
Then give me an Arcana check.
Oh God, disadvantage I had that still on. Either way.
Yeah, you're not sure, but you would even with a 10, you would understand that something along this line, I mean, because this is the job you used to do, is a pretty serious investment.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
But you would also be aware that you made a name for yourself killing the pirate on the high seas, and now killing Hedron. So your name may have spread, and yeah, your location certainly has been given up by somebody.
I purchase a pound of flour and give it to Cithrin.
Cithrin will grudgingly accept it.
It's
And
not
then
every day
she-
a handsome man offers you flowers, is it?
It's not today either.
She'll just look at Ezekiel and just, say her thanks to everyone and walk away.
Is this her usual day out drinking?
She doesn't respond.
I mean,
Oh well.
looking
I
at her
gotta go-
footprints, now, they seem to match the bandit who snuck into the temple.
Well, I don't know. Could be any local dragonborn with that particular token.
You hear her
Look at
shout
Gus
back over her
casting
shoulder.
aspersions.
You hear her shouting back over her shoulder, Silver!
Same dude.
Well, I stand corrected there, ma'am. Now, if you'll
She's
excuse
a lovely
me,
shade of metallic.
now if you'll excuse me, I got a scrap vendor to give a piece of my mind to.
And this is why I just call her the Dragon Girl.
I
Did you
prefer
assume the
Cithrin of the Synods.
Did you assume the dragon's gender by any?
Yes. Be right back.
Cithrin has made, hasn't hidden that she's female, so it's not assuming anything.
Nope. I understand, Cithrin. So, Curious and Ezekiel, you guys are preparing for your hunt. Do you want to invite anybody else along?
To be clear, we are hunting werewolves, correct?
I thought
Yes.
you were hunting.
Yeah,
I thought the hunt
I'm
was
hunting a small pack
Wendigos.
of werewolves. There's 3 of them.
Perhaps it would not be unwise to bring along one or more of our allies. I am hunting a were rat, which are not particularly dangerous.
I will reluctantly walk up to at least Duma and say, so Ezekiel and I are going hunting for some bad folk. Want to bust some
I'm
skulls?
in.
Cool.
I'm in.
I'll bring a magic weapon.
Silver
Or at least-
longsword.
Well, your weapon of warning is a magic weapon.
Oh, it is. Okay. Because I
Silver
need to let off some
magical word.
steam. Yeah, I need to let off some steam after the pit fight, so someone's gonna get the brunt of my frustration.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
so
notice Duma is looking bruised and has a couple of really serious black eyes and might have a missing tooth.
I'm back. Who got the shit kicked out of them?
Duma.
Duma in a pit
Duma.
fight.
Ah,
Was his horn always bent in that direction?
You should do more of the drinking competitions and less of the fighting competition. You did better at those.
I'd like to be
Okay,
good
this is
at both.
weird.
So,
I
and
see
Cassandra,
light, but I
Yes.
don't see anything else.
yeah, Cassandra, you're on the map just for the camera.
Okay, because I don't think I would be out here after the last fiasco. But I
Nope.
do need money.
This isn't for money. You will be at this point, I would say, off doing your schmoozing. So we'll get to that in just a second. So I want to try and get through this quickly so we can finish everything off. I will say, with your previous attempts, you guys have understood the area you are in. I want you to give me one quick survival check to see if you can build a camp during a blizzard as the wind and weather changes, because that's the complication that came up during your hunt to avoid you guys getting a level of exhaustion.
Said survival.
Survival.
Was it a group check?
Yep.
Oh
Good
my
job,
God.
guys.
Yeah, you all gain one level of exhaustion. Curious, you're able to take a short rest and get rid of that, but the other two are not.
And so just to confirm, this den we're going after right now is the werewolves.
Yes, it is the werewolves that. Do you want to explain to your party as you
Yes.
head there?
I will explain to my brothers in arms, but doing so, I will actually do a bit of show and tell. So you do notice that during the short rest, he takes off of his bracers, he takes off his pauldron, and there is a large bite mark in his shoulder under his pauldron, and he has tattoos on both of his arms. And I don't believe either of you actually speak Giant, so you would not be able to actually read what the tattoos say. But he goes on to explain how his right arm is Kieran, and the left arm is Neris, and he tells the story of how not too long ago he was a woodsman, married, had a small child, and werewolves attacked. He put up a grave fight. They thought he was dead, and they killed his family. So he just sort of vowed revenge and left off to go hunt monsters.
Where exactly are they on the map? Because I can only see.
They are the bottom left-hand corner.
Okay, okay, because I can't see them when I go to the bottom left-hand corner.
That's because it's in darkness.
You guys are just completely encased in black.
Here, I'll give you vision, Stephanie, so you can see everything.
Yeah, because I'm trying to have the viewers look at the everyone.
This is what happens when you don't have a lot of players with dark vision.
Yep. I have dark vision, though.
I guess I would not be wearing my shield then, and would probably have a torch ready.
hey,
All
Radigan
right.
always
If you've got a torch, I will give you the light. Okay, so as you guys make your way up to the entryway of this cave, give me a stealth check as you try and move forward if you want to try and be stealthy.
I will fully endorse this stealth plan, and will also apply one of these on as well.
So everybody gets passed without a trace. Everyone gets a +10 to your stealth check.
I changed my clothes to be white to blend them with the snow.
I'm gonna
All right.
need that +10 for my stealth. It's gonna be disadvantage.
Oh, it's going to be disadvantage anyway because you're exhausted.
That too.
That's going to be a 31 stealth.
18.
18. So yeah, and curious with a 28, the three of you do manage to move very quietly. Ezekiel and Curious, I mean, your steps barely even leave impressions in the snow.
We leave no impressions because of the spell.
Oh, that's right. It's pass without trace. So you guys come to the entryway of this cavern, and with your torch, you can see, it opens up in front of you. You see what appears to be light coming from the far left corner. So you assume there's probably a campfire or some sort of light source coming from there. But you can see the ground in front of you is sort of littered with bones, covered in like a thin sheet of frost. You can see there's rocky outcroppings, and your torch just catches what appears to be the edge of blackness. Like it appears either it's a crevasse or a pit or something like that. How do you guys wish to proceed?
I have a plan. I just need to get sight of one.
All right.
I will also say with your passive perceptions, you hear the sound of sort of yipping and barking coming from just around the corner on your right. It sounds like, I would say with your nature knowledge, it sounds like young pups. Curious.
Like
Dinner?
werewolf pups or wolf pups?
At this point, just pups.
They may have some beasts. Let's move up quietly. So yeah, I guess I will move up a bit and see those.
Yep, and with the light, yeah, you see there's just a couple of young wolf pups that are just sort of playing and frolicking. They have not appeared to have noticed you as you come in.
I will point them out to Duma and Ezekiel, assuming Duma's moving up with us, and just sort of question: do we take them out, or do we leave them be? Miming motions, of course, because stealth.
Yeah, I would say with your nature check, I mean, these are very young puppies. They do not appear dangerous in any way.
All right. So in that case, then I would probably say we can ignore them and move on to closer to where.
Yeah, a warning would be the primary danger with them, but your pass without trace is held so far.
So
yeah.
I stop. I grab Curious by the collar.
Yeah.
Can I see them?
Yes, you can see just sort of around the corner. You definitely see, probably 30 or 40 feet. There's a couple of werewolves in their wolf form appear, in your line of sight, and you can see there is a light source coming around. So it looks like they're, I'd say from this distance, you can hear the crackling of a fire. So it looks like they're sitting around a fire.
I cast that on him.
All right. I need all of you to roll initiative, please.
With disadvantage for me and Duma.
Yep.
Oh!
That's insane.
I actually have normal because my warning, Great Axe of Warning gives me advantage, so it's pretty much a normal roll.
Yep, straight roll for Duma.
Ezekiel should just win this combat.
Oh, you're not in the tracker, Duma.
Oh, damn it.
I gotcha.
Danka.
All right. So, yeah, Ezekiel, you are going first. You cast your spell. And so, just on that first one.
Yep.
And they are not immune to being frightened. Oh, man, intelligence saving throw.
DC 15.
That's a 7.
He regards everyone he can see as an enemy.
The sad problem is his attacks aren't considered magical, so he does no damage.
Oops.
Unless the DM decides to overlook that.
All right. That is Ezekiel's turn. So, in speaking the words for that, you guys are no longer hidden. You have been sort of noticed. That takes us to Curious.
Oh, I also want to move behind Curious and Doom
All right.
a little bit.
All right. Well, I guess I would move up a bit, 25 feet there. And I guess
Don't hit the one
Because-
that I've hit.
okay. Do I notice which one? Because I assume he would visibly suddenly start acting like, holy shit, I'm around enemies.
Yes.
So which one is
That's
that?
the one
first
who's
or the
been
second?
hit with it. The first one.
Okay. So in that case, then I would mark the second one with Hunter's Mark. So the one in the back row. And I'm going to drop the torch and put on my shield.
Okay.
And that's my
Duma.
turn.
Duma's just gonna take a couple of steps forward. Can't see. That was just. Yep, I'm just gonna end my turn there on a dodge action.
All right. And you realize you were right at the edge of sort of a precipice looking down into darkness.
Yep.
It is the werewolves. This first one is going to rear around and snap and attempt to attack its partner. Does so, does not take any damage, but you can see this other wolf is very, very sort of angry and will attempt to sort of slash and bite at it as well. Does manage to sort of slash and push it away, and you can hear it sort of roaring and growling and snarling at each other. Ezekiel,
All right.
coming up from behind, you hear sort of a snarling, charging sound, and some claws swing out at you.
Okay.
That is an 8 to hit, and then it's going to attempt to bite you. That is a 13 to hit. You did not see it coming, but you are easily able to sort of block and prevent as this half wolf, half human has come sort of screeching out of the darkness, but has not managed to make contact with you. That is your turn, Ezekiel.
Duma!
Yep.
All right. Draw. What do I even have on me? I have a silvered rapier and silvered short sword. Oh no, my rapier is not silvered. I have a short sword. I pull my short sword and my dagger out because I would have had the short sword out already anyway.
Sure. Okay.
I mean, we're going up against werewolves. We knew it.
Yes.
But No, I'm actually just going to Dissonant Whispers this guy.
Okay.
That's better. It's more likely to do something.
Yeah, that's a 10.
He has to run. And werewolves run fast.
They do. So yeah, 10 psychic damage, and he disappears off into the darkness.
All right, and then I will move up here to be closer to my friends who are strong.
Okay. Curious.
Bonus action. Curious. Part of inspiration.
Cool. Thank you. All right. So Curious is going to run up into the midst of combat. And as he's running up, he's going to bonus action mark his hunter to mark one as his prey to get that extra bonus damage. And we're going to... I might use the Bardic Inspiration on this first attack. Yeah, I am, because I don't know if that'll actually hit or not. That definitely hits.
That definitely hits. That is 18 slashing damage. Yeah, the wolf howls and sort of cries as your first blow hits. Roll your second attack.
And with a backhand, another
Hits.
11 damage. That's not bad, rolling 2 5s on the main attack. That's nice.
It is already bloodied and looking very, very unhappy. Duma.
Nabil?
Duma.
Duma.
Sorry, my side is frozen. I'm trying to restart my roll 20. Yeah.
Oh my
Okay.
God.
I'll take your attack. Do you want to go up and attack the wolves?
Yeah, because from what I can recall, before I restarted, Curious moved up, and I'm just trying to stay right behind him and head towards the wolves and attack them.
Okay.
Okay, I'm just logging. Okay, I just logged in.
Okay.
That's where I am.
Yeah, because
Okay,
you'll know
so-
enough not to go after the one that Ezekiel cast against.
Okay, I'm just trying to understand the icons. So both of the werewolves, one has a skull and crossbones. Which one is it?
That's the one that Ezekiel cast the spell on. The other one is hunted marked by Curious. So you would see the one up above is already bloody that Curious has been attacking.
Okay, so I take out my great axe, the great axe of warning, and swing. Also, my AC goes down by 3. This is raging and reckless attacking.
Okay.
And bada bing, bada boom.
That is a critical hit. All right, 16 damage. It is still on its feet, but it is very badly hurt. It is staggered quite badly.
All right, going for second one. Oh, nice. Oh, so close.
Hits. It has 1 hit point left,
And
which is
bonus action, push it away if I can.
okay.
Into is that a bonfire?
That is a fire. It's just a fire.
It's just a fire, so I'm trying to push it towards in it.
It definitely
So,
gets
I think-
shoved inside. Start of its turn. Roll me it will automatically take 1 damage, so it takes no damage from fire.
Wait, what?
Oh, sure
Yeah,
it does, because it's
yeah,
bludgeon magic. Yeah,
it's
no, it takes
fire.
fire damage. So yeah, it burns up in the fire and it dies. That takes away its 1 last hit point.
And that's
Now, this werewolf, only having the 2 of you as enemies, is going to roll a d4. 1, 2 is Duma, 3, 4 is Curious. That is a 3, so it's going to attack Curious twice. That is a 7 on its bite and a 7 on its claws. Wow, weak.
Knock the claws aside with the shield, and then jam the shield into its mouth to stop the bite.
All right. And this guy is just going to dash to get all the way back to you, Ezekiel. That is all he can do. And top of the round, it is Ezekiel's turn.
All right, Ezekiel just wants to give this guy a good old hold. So DC 15 Wisdom save. They've been
That's a
rolling bad.
9. That is a failure.
Cool. I run here.
It stays right where you leave it.
he's
And I
a
tell
bandit
them
on.
that one's paralyzed over there.
Any bonus action?
Actually, you know what? I don't move all the way over there. I'm going to move here just to be able to see this one.
Okay.
So I can still hit that next turn if it doesn't get unparalyzed.
All right. That takes us to Curious.
Okay, because I dropped the torch, and I assume it would still be burning. I can't.
Yeah, it's still
see-
burning.
Okay, I can't actually see that area to know if I'd be. Okay, looking on the stream, I'd probably be able to see it because of where my torch was dropped.
Yeah.
So in theory, I should be able to see that guy because he's like somewhere down around here. Although I won't be able to get there all that easily. Actually, I might.
Well, you can see, I'll say with it, where, I mean, basically Ezekiel is by the torch. You can see that it's just 10 feet away from Ezekiel.
And 35 feet away from me.
Oof.
Shove it into the pit. What's Curious
I'm-
doing?
Okay, so I'm gonna turn to Duma and say, "Take out this bastard for me," and then I am going to bonus action Zephyr Strike, dash like the wind, avoiding the attack of opportunity. Like not really dashing, but I have 60 feet of movement on this turn. I'm not Hunter's marking right now, so I should take off that damage thing. I will come up to this guy. I have advantage because he's paralyzed. I will strike him.
Hits.
Add the
Auto
Zephyr
crit.
Strike of 4. It's
Auto
it's an
crit.
auto crit.
It is an auto crit, yeah.
Oh, and I rolled max damage on that last attack too. So he takes an extra D6.
And an
Nice.
extra D4 or D8.
What? Oh, and the
Extra
extra
D8.
D8, yeah. Nice.
That is a 25 damage first strike.
Hey, I got the first
Second
blood on
attack.
him.
Yeah.
You did, well, that was, yeah, this is his first
Oh,
strike.
that
I
was
didn't say
my
first
first
blood.
strike.
It's two
though.
attacks.
I get 2
Yeah.
attacks. Second attack, unfortunately, doesn't get the extra Zephyr Strike damage.
Also hit.
Oh,
Just
misses.
misses.
and then I'm gonna grin and bear at him, and that'll be my turn. Yeah, he's
All
gonna
right.
try. I'm gonna try and put him in that pit.
Duma.
Duma taking Curious words to heart, and he just has this huge grin on his face. It's like my just starts swinging. First swing coming up again. Rage and Reckless attack.
That hits.
Oh, thank God.
Ooh, 18 damage. And second attack. Yeah, you cleave through for a grand total of, oh my God, 34 damage in one strike. This poor wolf is bleeding and bloodied. And I mean, one of his limbs is barely sort of hanging on. Yeah, you hammering horns.
Into the fire.
Into the fire. Yep. Slides across the ice into the fire. All right. Any movement? Any bonus action?
I'm just gonna take a step towards it, and I'm pretty much gonna end my action there. That's it for me.
All right. Roll me a d4.
Oh no! Oh, for fuck's sake!
I'll just
It was
take the
supposed-
first one, which is a 4. So yeah, that is. It starts igniting in the fire, and it starts howling and screeching. It is not looking good. It, however, is going to step out of the fire and attempt to claw and bite at you. That is a 14, which is not going to hit.
Even with a reckless attack. Ouch.
Oh, sorry. Yes, reckless. That is a 21 to hit. So you
Oh,
take
balls.
6 piercing damage as it bites down on you. So give me a Constitution saving throw.
Oh, Nabil, you dumb shit. Constitution save coming up. Oh wait, since I'm exhausted, that's
Only
disadvantage.
checks.
Nope.
No, it's regular roll.
No, just checks, not saving throws.
Okay, con coming up. Oh balls.
All right. Yeah. You feel just something get into your bloodstream, and you're not poisoned, but you don't feel good. And then the claws swing around, and it is a critical hit. You take 12 slashing damage, which is halved to 6. So in total, you took a total of 9 damage. 3 piercing and 6 slashing.
Ow.
The other one is paralyzed, does nothing.
Did you make it save?
It did not. Ezekiel, you are up. It stands there drooling.
How hurt does it look?
Very. It's definitely bloodied. It's not on death's door, but it is definitely injured.
Non-lethal attacks. I'm curious to get at least one of the kills.
I did get the
Oh, you get the first one? All right. Non-regular lethal attacks then.
Well, the first
The
one died in
normal
the
amount
fire after
of
Duma.
lethality.
Oh wait, no, yeah, the first one died to fire. I haven't killed one yet. I
Yeah,
did
non-lethal.
severely injure.
It's his revenge story.
Yep, non-lethal. That hits. Roll your damage. It is a critical hit, so roll your extra.
11 damage.
11 damage. All right, still on its feet, but definitely badly hurt. That hits.
Should you deal that extra 2 damage from the dex?
Yeah.
You don't have 2
3 plus-
weapons.
But it's offhand.
Oh yeah. My bad. I never fight with weapons.
Yeah.
So that's 5 damage.
5 damage anyway. Yeah, it is bleeding profusely from all of these wounds it has taken, but it is still on its feet.
Bonus action. Run up here. I have 25 feet of movement left. Bonus action. Give Duma Bardic Inspiration.
All right.
Dankeschön.
Curious, it is your turn.
All right. Free action. I put away my axe. Action. I grab this thing by the throat. And then I slowly and purposely walk it over to the edge and toss him into the hole.
All right. Yeah, you pick him up, you carry it over. Do you say anything before you drop it?
No, he doesn't
All
deserve
right.
my words.
All right. Yeah, it falls away into this crevasse and
Oh, that one. I thought it would be up here, but
either way. Falls away and falls for quite some time before, and it's still paralyzed, so it can't even sort of cry or yelp. But then you hear this sickening sort of thud and crunch as it finally hits the bottom.
and then I move the 20 feet remaining I have because I assume I was moving, grappling him.
Yep.
I didn't roll because he was paralyzed and there's no way he could fight it.
No.
And Depending on, I'll mark him with Hunter's Mark just because I'm not sure how long he'll actually survive the remaining.
Oh, Doom is going to kill him in one blow.
I assume so.
Which takes us to Duma.
So let's make that thought come true, and let's just end this.
That is a hit. That is more than enough damage. Yeah, your axe just cleaves through. I mean, there's the smell of singed fur, and it's just sort of nasty and gross. But yeah, you cleave it from shoulder down to its hip, and it, splits almost in half and falls down to the ground. With that, you guys have cleared out the werewolf cave. You do find a couple of skins that are down on the ground that they've been using as beds. You find a small cache of coinage. You find 45 gold and 28 silver pieces, as well as a couple of weapons, nothing of any great quality or value, but you do find a very nicely carved sort of bone flute as well.
I will turn to Great Ezekiel and Duma
Detect
and say,
magic.
thank you both.
No magic.
When we finish Ezekiel's task here, I have one small journey I want to go to, and a favor I may ask of you in the future because of it.
We will always do favors for our friends.
This is a reasonable one. You won't turn it down.
But now we're even for saving us from those Yetis.
Oh, now I owe you.
And
Not for long.
With that, you guys are able to do what you will with the corpses, and you're heading back into town. I want to quickly sort of finish this off. Cassandra, you have been sent to Luskan to be allowed to schmooze with the masters that are there. So with that, you are going to be able to spend some time getting to know everybody. You can, try and put on the best face that you can in order to, hopefully gain somebody's favor and allow you to make some good contacts. So as you are schmoozing, you can make a charisma persuasion check to determine the effectiveness as you are schmoozing. I will say you have a background related to what you're doing, so you're going to gain a +1 bonus as you are a wizard sort of schmoozing with other wizards and getting to know everything.
Ooh. And I've re-rolled my portents for the day, and I have a 16.
Ooh, very nice. And I will say the expenses that it costs you are going to be up to 100 gold. So roll me some percentile dice to see how much it's going to cost you in sort of clothing and food and drink and going out spending time.
Okay, so there, D100. There we go.
Cost you 77 gold, but over the course of this week, you are now going to be able to do it. So with your roll, that is going to be a 16 with your portent +1.
+1 for my regular charisma.
Yes,
That's
plus
not my
and
dump
then yeah, and +1 for your background, which gives you a total of 18, which is a great success. You are able to establish a couple of contacts inside the school, and you are now treated as both a trusted friend and a potentially gifted student, and are offered a position to come study there once you are done with the rest of your adventuring, and you are given the chance to give yourself an Arcane Brotherhood name, so which is based on a color. So you are able to now come up with a color in order to differentiate yourselves from the other wizards that are there. So you can think on that.
Okay. So, not only did the Great Ezekiel assist me in getting me all done up because he knows about makeup and clothes and fashion and everything else, what good color name should I have?
Aubergine. I'm not there.
Magenta.
Pearlescent.
Magenta.
Selvin Pink.
I've always been a fan of red myself.
Baby poop green.
No,
Red is
definitely
taken,
not
of course.
that.
Magenta.
Magenta. The magenta what, though?
We'll think on it.
All right. While this is happening, Radigan, you have been able to spend your downtime and your money, and over a course of weeks, and with the expenditure of 200 gold, you are able to infuse this white cloak, and it is, you have been able to infuse it with a protection spell, so that is able to, give you now +1 to your armor class and your saving throws. Is there anything else you wanted to sort of inscribe or do with this cloak?
Well, I'm not so much of a fan of, the idea of a cloak. Now, a duster, on the other hand, that's what I'm primarily interested in. But I did happen to like the idea of the blur spell. I'm not sure if that could be added to the cloak or not.
Ooh, for that, give me, I'm going to say that'll be an Arcana check DC 20 if you want to try and infuse something like that as well.
Well, obviously this is going to be going under guidance. Ah!
Yeah, unfortunately, no. Yeah, you are not quite able to get the infusion right, but it is something that you think maybe, with more time, if you get more downtime, you might be able to try again later.
Yeah, well.
But you do have a duster of protection +1.
Awesome. So.
All right.
Yeah.
And Augustus, you are able to go to the Great Forge of Moradin at the Dwarven Enclave at Kelvin's Cairn.
Awesome.
Where you are going to be given the chance to turn the black ice, and you get rid of the mirror and the other few items that you have left, but you are given the opportunity to forge yourself a new hammer. Again, this, happens over a period of weeks as you spend your downtime. And I mean, it is hot and it is unpleasant, but the other dwarven craftsmen are there, and you are able to craft it using these materials that you've done. What is the handle that you have chosen for your hammer, though?
What is it made out of?
Yes.
Oh, mammoth horn.
All right. Yeah, you were able to pick up a mammoth horn and sort of carve it and shave it down. So that is the handle for this. The top you form out of the materials you've gathered. Do you want to silver it again like you had your other one?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So you have these materials. You form it and then you dip it in the silver and coat it in the silver. So you now have this great Warhammer +1 that is silvered, and you are going to now give me a wisdom saving throw as you finish producing because of the materials you've been working with, but you have the blessing of Moradin, so you're going to do it with advantage.
Oh, Jesus. Thank God for advantage. Thank Moradin.
That is exactly the number you needed. So you do not get it doesn't drive you mad dealing with the materials you've been working with. You are able to maintain your focus, and you now have the weapon that we discussed.
Awesome. And that was a great hammer? Or just a hammer?
Great hammer. It's a Warhammer if you wish it.
Probably a Warhammer, yeah.
All right. And so very quickly, I will go to the Great Ezekiel. You are going to be attempting to hunt down Slim. First things first, you already did a successful Arcana check to know what you know about were creatures. First off, give me a perception or investigation check as you go and check out the jail that he escaped from.
Okay, and just to be clear, we did get Duma fixed after that, right?
Yes, I'm going to assume that that was taken care of.
You said investigation or what?
Perception.
Oh.
Yeah, you are unable to sort of locate anything to do with their breakout. You assume he sort of shape changed and got out, but you are not able to figure out exactly what happened.
Warned them that he could change shape. Why did they?
Now,
why haven't they just like pierced him with silver or something?
He was going to get a trial. Now, I'm going to give you a chance to either do a deception check if you want to try and talk to some of the crooks and lowlifes in disguise and try and figure out his tracks, or a straight persuasion check to try and talk to sort of the police or city watch and things like that.
Persuasion, please.
All right, give me a persuasion check as you
and can I like can I call any of my clout from like being part of the group that dealt with the pirates and dealt with all of the other issues, dealt with Slim?
Yeah, I'll give you a I mean, as you go up and down the coast, because you're talking to sort of different towns as it's going, I'll give you advantage on this check.
26.
26, that is a success. You are able to slowly track him as he moves from Caer Konig back down towards Bryn Shander. You hear tales from the City Watch just of, food being stolen, some clothing, little things like that. And they haven't gotten a full bead, but you are able to piece these things together. Give me a survival check now as you sort of follow his tracks and try and figure out where he's going.
Curious is helping me with this, right?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Can we both roll, or do you want me to have advantage, or what?
With this, you can both roll.
19.
19, yeah. You pick up his trail and find that he has made his way back into Bryn Shander. But once he gets back into there, give me an intimidation check, and both of you can sort of do this to try and talk to some of the lowlifes in town to figure out exactly where he is hiding out.
Can I take my mask off, change my clothes to be more of a maybe of a bit of a Zentara-y type?
I assume this is what you're doing as part of that. So you can give me you can actually give me a performance check if you want, and curious, you can give me an intimidation check. So yeah, you aren't able to work your way through those angles. Nobody is willing to sort of talk to you, which means you guys are basically down to give me an insight check to try and figure out his thoughts and his mindset as to where he might hide here in town.
11.
12.
Oh, yeah. With the two, you are not able to actually figure it out. He is just always sort of one step ahead. You find, one of the old windmills that was an abandoned safe house for him. But unfortunately, with those rolls, that is 3 failures. And you are unable to fully track Slim down. He is continually hiding somewhere in Bryn Shander.
Okay.
Presumably his contacts from Luskan have maybe gotten him out of town.
Next time we're in the area, I know someone who used to hunt down criminals. Perhaps we shall use her help.
Okay.
Yeah. And with that, I'm going to end this back in the tavern where Cithrin, just as your carousing is coming to an end, you are, at the bar, you're having a good time. When, and this is a good couple of months have passed, you are handed a drink by the bartender, and he just says, "Hey, hero, there is someone who wishes to speak to you over in the corner table." And he sort of points off to that more private area.
Sorry, who is he talking to?
Oh, I mean,
Cithrin.
this is after the attack, right?
This is 2 months after the attack.
All right. I'm going to be very, very dubious, but I will still go over to the corner.
Oh, you've
I
been
will
on a
follow
2-month
and sit
bender.
nearby.
At this point, Cithrin is the only one in this bar.
Yep.
She is off carousing on her own. As you come around this table, you see a fairly well-dressed woman wearing the colors of Ship Baron. And you recognize, even just by sight, even though you have not necessarily met her in person before, that this is the captain, the great Barry Barham, who has, each captain takes the name of the original founder of Ship Barham. And she just offers you a seat across from her and just says, "I think we have much to discuss, Cithrin of Ship Barham."
Cithrin will walk away.
You turn around, and as you do so, you see the doors of the bar shut, and all the other patrons immediately stop what they were doing and just all turn and face towards you. You see there are about 15 other people, all of which, they start removing sort of cloaks and signets, and you recognize them as all associates of Ship Barham.
She will puff out a little bit of frost and agitation and take the bloody seat offered.
All right. And with this, Barry looks across at you and says, "We have to congratulate you for your work. You, as a representative of Ship Barham, as you know, we look after the fishing industry in Luskan. And word gets back to us that one of our illustrious members saved the fishing industry in Icewind Dale from pirates. What else can we do but say that, of course, you were working for us and were a great champion for the ship? You can't expect us to admit that somebody as well known as you fled in the night." And she offers a little box and opens it up, and you see it is the mark of the Grimmer knot, which is one of the strongest sort of fishing knots that they make on the boats. And, Captain Barham smiles sweetly and just says, "When you are ready, you are going to come to Luskan, and you are going to be feted as a champion of our ship, Cithrin. Do you understand me?"
She's not going to say anything. She's going to let a little huff and take a drink.
And she says, "I will take that as understanding. Your actions will always be seen as being ones that we approved of. And while I don't expect you to come back to this ship, because frankly, if I ever see you in Luskan after this celebration, you will be chum."
Cithrin will grin at her at that, all the teeth.
And Barham will say, "Your punishment, however, is to be marked. You have never worn the markings of Ship Barham, always claiming it would not show up. You are going to be marked with the mark of the knot. this mark of prestige and honor in Ship Barum, and we are going to magically apply it so it will never come off your face. Do you understand? You will wear this badge of honor till the day you die.
Shit. You know what? Cytherin can't diplomatically talk her way out of this. She can't fight her way out of this. She's on her own. She's going to finish her drink, and she's going to lean back, and she's going to take a dagger and slit her own throat.
What?
Yep.
I would have gone after the captain myself, but
I've got a bar full of Ship Barum people. If I go after this captain, I'm a dead man anyway.
well, then
But I will
take as
not
many
wear their
as-
mark.
Take as many as you can with.
I'm dead
Holy
either
shit.
way. I'm not gonna wear their mark.
You have a wizard in your party.
My wizard isn't here.
No, but you're also not getting marked until much later in Luskan.
Oh, I
That's
thought
not
you were doing
happening
it
right
right now. Jesus.
No. She
Jeez.
said when you get to Luskan, she is going to hold it. There's going to be a celebration
Bloody hell.
celebrating you,
No,
and then they
I
will
thought
mark
it was
you
happening
then.
right now. Like they were going to
Okay.
hold her down and brand her.
Exactly. We all
Oh,
thought
no,
it was all
no.
set up for now.
Okay.
No,
if it's
I
not
said the next
happening-
time you're in Luskan, this happens, and that is the last time you are going to be allowed in Luskan.
I caught the whole, next time you're in Luskan, I'm going to be feted, blah, blah, blah. But then when you said that, hey, you have to wear our mark, I thought I was going to be branded right then and there. So my apologies. I'm going to walk back what I said and just continue
You
playing the
magically
stoic.
heal.
Huh?
You
Pardon?
magically heal.
I magically heal. No, I thought it was
Yes.
happening right that second.
No,
But,
I'm
if
not going to do that.
If it's not happening right this second, she's, again, just going to, huff and drink.
And with that, the captain will raise her glass and everyone in the bar, and she will just say, "Everyone, 3 cheers for Cytherin of Ship Barum," and they will cheer, and she will take a sip of her drink, put it down on the table, and just walk away and say, "We will see you in Luskan when the snow melts, champion. And once again, thank you for your great service to this ship. Everyone will know how you have honored us." And with that, they will all sort of clear out from the bar and leave you alone with your mug.
Okay.
And that is where we will end your adventures in Icewind Dale. You guys will, at the next session, travel down through Luskan and head off to the Vale, following the treasure map that you guys have found in the past, and you will be going to the homeland of Augustus Gustantine as we head into the Red Hand of Doom.
Ooh.
How's your French accent, Patrick?
That's pretty good, huh? Yeah, Yeah, everybody in the Vale speaks French? I don't know. I think Augustus is faking that accent the entire time.
Oh yes, totally put upon.
Anyway, I will be ending this stream soon. Again, please check out in the doobly-doo down below our sister shows and our link for Extra Life. Now, if everyone would like to join, who's watching would like to join me, I'd like to raid a channel that our sister show, Marbayan, that is currently live. Hope this works.
I see it. I have no idea what any of these things mean, but
I will
They
see you
help
later. I'm
bring
going to sleep.
people to the channel. All right, and with that, I will or help people share viewers between channels. So now I'm currently hosting them, so I will end this broadcast. Have a nice night, everyone. Bye-bye.
I hope that was okay.